What's up everybody, VB here, bringing you some Gotham City Impostors gameplay, the man whose reaction to starting a sniper streak is to start doing amateur dubstep. Wub 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 wub. In this week's video we're going to be talking about those new community challenges that have been released this week, the few and far between that is, and that sort of leads on to my topic for this video, the natural life cycle of games, and going on from that, what I'm planning to do in the future as well. Before we get started though, just to let you know there's a game of TDM being played on Ace Chemical in the background, me running the Desperado and the Chaperone, and working alongside my newfound face-painted partner in crime, Telito. Now as far as challenges for this week are concerned, you've only got 3 to tackle. 2 are to do with camo, and 1 is a gameplay one. Now the gameplay one is called And My Axe. Really? This is the route we're going to go down, Monolith. We're just going to rip off quotes from Lord of the Rings and put them under the guise of a challenge title, and this apparently has nothing to do with the fact that you've got a Lord of the Rings based game coming out soon. Anyway, jaded game attitude aside, what the challenge requires you to do is get 10 hatchet kills, and if you do that, you're going to bag yourself 5,000 XP. That challenge is repeatable and doesn't expire until the 1st of September, so you've got plenty of time to get your throwing arm in. Me personally, it's always there, it's just hidden away. I don't want to boss too much on a game. Shh, it's not really that good. Now, taking the challenge total up to 3 this week are the camo challenges. Now, if you want to bag Snowflake Camo this week, you're going to have to get 300 kills with the Kingmaker, the pistol. Not bad, considering we had to get 600 kills before. Wait, no, scratch that, it was 500. That was that weird week, wasn't it, where things didn't exactly go the way they normally do. But yes, 300 kills with the Kingmaker will bag you Snowflake Camo. And the Kitty Camo this week, 600 kills, the regular staple, is needed with the Jackhammer. Yes, the heaviest of all heavy weapons, and quite possibly, from what I've heard from people complaining about, the most overpowered weapon in the game. So if you do come across people spamming the jackhammer, because people seem to loathe the weapon in the game, then there are 2 very helpful bits of advice I can give you. First thing, just take them from behind. Hashtag dirty sounding advice. Just basically, when they're using the jackhammer, they can't turn very well, they can't move very quickly, and again, like I said, most of the attachments and the weapon itself kicks like a mule, and they're going to have very little accuracy. So as long as you're coming in from the sides or from above, or like I say, if you ambush them by appearing from behind so they can't really turn around and take you out, then, you know, you're going to stand a good chance getting a few kills against those people using the jackhammer. The other bit of advice I can give you, do not stand in front of the jackhammer, okay? Now I know what a lot of people are probably thinking, they're listening back to that and going, "Ah, that VB, what a witty individual, coming up with a comical situation to keep us entertained and get a laugh, how joyful." No, if anything, this is like a public service announcement. You know, time and time again I have seen teammates run right into the bullet path of a mighty toting a jackhammer and decide the most effective tactic to employ at that time, at that precise moment, is to suddenly stand in front of them and go, "Hello." Sorry, that was an audio facepalm, you can't see it, but trust me, it happens. But tell you what, people, if you see a hungry lion yawn, do you put your head in its mouth? Maybe feeling a little bit fruity, but most of the time common sense would be, no, don't stand in the way of danger. And that's exactly it. If you see someone with a jackhammer looking straight at you, chances are you may want to run in the opposite direction. Just saying. So those are your challenges for some fancy new paint jobs, and those challenges don't expire until the 1st of September, just like the Hatchet Challenge, so this Saturday. Now you may have noticed I've been trying to get different content on my channel recently. Mainly because there's new games coming up, so like I put up the WWE 12 gameplay, because WWE 13 is going to come out soon. And also it's nice to have a bit of variety, it's the spice of life after all. But what that has led me on to do is play some of the older games that I've not played in a while, spurred me on to get some new games that I can play in the meanwhile while I'm waiting for bigger games. And because of all this, GCI has been on the back burner. And it's not because I don't want to play GCI, I'm just losing that loving feeling for it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not immediately going to go, like, the game's finished, throw it away, go get something else, because I still do like playing GCI. It's a fun arcade title that kept me entertained over the summer. I was part of the beta, decided to get the full game, got the DLC, and you know, it's been fun, don't get me wrong. But it's got to that point now where the game's not doing anything to help itself to keep me interested. Now before we go any further, I just want to clarify we're talking about the game itself here. We're not talking about the server problems or the connection issues, things like that. Although that's not to say they aren't a massive problem, they are huge. You talk about elephant in the room, that elephant has brought his friends and they are all tooting out Party Rock Anthem. Because apparently that's the loudest thing I could think of off the top of my head. But what we're talking about here is there's no attempt from the game itself to engage people anymore. Look how it was over summer. There was DLC, there was limited edition calling cards to earn, there was like 5 or 6 challenges in a week, and look how things are now. There's no sign of any DLC coming. In fact, the very future of the game itself is very wobbly because there's nothing from Monolith to say, look, we're going to do this for the game, or we're finished with the game. So people just really don't want to put their time into the game if they know the game's just going to run out and be left on the shelf with all the problems it has at the moment. And also, the challenges themselves are rather lackluster. I mean, let's look back at how things were. The early challenges used to have like 4 or 5 in 1 week. A majority of them were to do with gameplay, and they were basically there taunting us. You know, we're like, oh, we dare you to get 50 kills with a hatchet. And it's like, done and done, sir. Dip my hat, game on. And people liked that. It was a challenge. It engaged people. You had people stepping up their game, trying something different, or you had people just showing they're the best at what they do. Now, if you take a look at this week's challenges, for instance, there's nothing really to them. There's 3 challenges, only 1 is to do with gameplay, 2 is to do with camo, and like, even the description themselves have no effort put into them. Hell, even the date's in bloody shorthand, for goodness sake. If that doesn't say lackluster, I don't know what does. Now, going back to what I said at the beginning of this topic, I still like this game. It's still good, it's fun to play. A lot of games miss that fun element nowadays. But the problem is, now there's nothing else to the game. My immediate reaction from getting home from work or being out all day isn't to go, I'm going to go play some GCI, unlike it was over the summer when everything was kicking off. Now it's just like, it's always an option, I'll see what else there is. But I think that's pretty much it with all games, isn't it, really? You know, they first come out, everyone gets the game, then they release the DLC, and then once all that's done and dusted, they're just left to slow burn away, and it's up to people then whether they want to play it or not. But let me know in the comments, do you agree with what I say? Do you think GCI's reached that point now where it's very much a case of, nah, I might play it, I might go and play something a bit different? Or do you think it's still very much an addicting game? Do you think it's still in the prime of its life? But again, like they say, all clouds have a silver lining, and even if GCI is coming towards the end of its life, I will still try and do the 101 series on a Monday, because, you know, people need to know about the challenges, and I've still got stuff to talk about. But it also means I can put up videos of different games as well. Some people might have heard of them, some games might be a little bit under the radar, and yes, I will put out some Transformers gameplay this week. Seriously, it's only the demo, but it's just something I want to talk about, and again, you know, it'll be fun, hopefully. Maybe this whole anticipation has kept you on edge long enough, or maybe you've probably just given up hope. I know I have. But I better wrap up this video, so thanks for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe, but again, you know the drill by now, people. Keep up the GGs, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.